At the beep on in 5. Camera's rolling. Interface active.
Hey everybody, Dan J. Francis here with my next webisode of Behind the Scenes, the making of Sheriff Froggee intro. Before we get started with that today, one thing I'd like to do is to mention that I don't do this just for recreational purposes. It is my full-time employment doing video editing, motion graphics, and animation at iMotion Video. By any means, if you're looking for video production, I can vouch for it myself. We do a great job and we always make you look great. So go ahead and check us out at iMotionVideo.com. We'd be happy to help you out. Getting going with this again today with our second webisode. We're going to pick up with where we left off, and that was just after finishing up the concept art for the cow that's going to do the intro. We'll quick bring up some assets that I've made. Those are going to go into the timeline there along with the cow, and that will begin the layout of the motion and the animation that we're going to have for the intro. And through the whole process with this, what we'll discover is the way that I can take the animatic that I've started, replace elements in there of refined things as we fine-tune everything, and then have the actual completed intro that we'll be using for our webisodes. You'll see here too, I have added a curtain into the screen that's going to pull away, revealing the pond with Sheriff Froggee. Again, it's a rough curtain right now, not necessarily the finalized what I'm going to do. Let's go ahead and we'll start just real quick by moving that away. I already set myself where I know that I'm going to want to have it draw right when we start to have the fading of my logo over to where I want it to be completely open. So let's go ahead, and with using the position, what I can do is actually to manipulate the curtain artifact, and we can go back and forth with that however we need to do. So right now it's just going to be real basic motion of chopping through there. We then have the other side of the curtain right here that we want to have mirror the same effect. So what we do is go ahead and I start with the same keyframe point that I had previously. So we're matching the point, I went to the next keyframe, and then now I just simply draw this one back over off to the side there. And now when we actually scrub it here, and that's what you call it when you're going across the timeline, is scrubbing, you actually see we have the curtain open. Now real quick, I'm going to just go ahead and have it open a little bit slower, so we kind of ease it out here, and ironically that's called an easy ease out. So you can just take a keyframe, click on that, right click, easy ease out, and now it starts out slowly and pulls away. Once we're done, we go ahead, clean our little layers out there so we know that there's nothing happening from that point, and bada bing bada boom, we now have our opening curtain. So what's next? Well, we want to have the cow rather come up, and I'm just going to go ahead and make him a little bit larger for now. I'm not quite sure how we're going to size him for sure, but we'll get that determined, and that's the whole reason for doing the animatic. We can test different options, and it gives us a nice starting point to know what our motion is. So one thing I want to do is to move my rotation point so that I can have him rotate on the bottom as opposed to the middle. Alright, and we want him to actually ease into this point so that he slows down rather than stopping abruptly. And what I did too was to add an arm. I did that shortly after I had done the quick sketch for him. So right now it's a real cow hoof. We might end up making it into a hand type styling on there or whatever, but I just wanted to get, like I say, a quick rendition going. I'm going to want to have that follow the cow. So now I want to have him backing up a little bit too. So to do that, I'm going to actually adjust his scale. That'll, in other words, making him smaller to make it appear as if he moves away from the camera. And I don't necessarily have all of his body right now, but again, we get the general idea, and that's all that we're going for here. Alright, and I think actually that in seeing this, what I'm going to do, and this is part of why we do the animatic, is I'll have him be the one who does the Meet Sheriff Froggee, but then we'll come up with another little barnyard character, maybe a pig or something like that, that we have come up for the He's a Frog, and we'll work on him in the future webisode and get that into there. For right now, I just want to continue moving forward, so, and I'm just going to quick puppet tool this, which again, you don't need to necessarily know what that is, but what I want to do is to have a little bend go with the arm. And one other thing, just going to real quick do with the curtain is, as it pulls away, I'm going to have it scale down And with doing that, it'll make it look like the curtains are actually compressing a little bit. So we'll do that on both here real quick. Alright, so I think we have his motion down pretty good there.
Okay, I think this is a good point to wrap this webisode up. If you're watching this on my website, if you, at the end of the video, go to the bottom right corner and hover over and choose to watch on YouTube. And for those who are already there, if you liked this video, go ahead, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my page. And I look forward to my next webisode with you. And on that note, have a great one, and may our universal God bless you always.
Hey there, kids! I'm Sheriff Froggee to protect and serve.